Thanks for watching. My name is Jimmie, and I just wanted to make a video because I realized that I'm not seeing anybody talking about this. There's really not a lot of hype. I don't know if maybe people aren't that excited about the concept, or maybe people just don't know. So I definitely wanted to make a video just to relay a little bit about my excitement for Anne Rice's upcoming novel. As some of you might know, at the end of November, I think it is, Anne Rice is going to be releasing a brand new vampire chronicle. And if you are an Anne Rice fan, or if you are a Vampire Chronicles fan, Interview with the Vampire, Queen of the Damned, the Vampire Lestat, if you know anything about her stories regarding the vampires and the Mayfair witches, then you are excited about this universe. You are excited about this book coming out. So I did want to talk a little bit about Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis. That's the title of the upcoming novel. As some of you know, Anne Rice did decide to take a hiatus from writing anything, Vampire Chronicles.
I'm not going to be writing any more books about Lestat or Louis, Armand, Gabrielle, or the other vampires. I won't be writing any more books about the Mayfair family.
So she did focus on a few other books, a few other projects. And she did return to the Vampire Chronicles about 8 years after the last one was released, which I think is Blood Canticle.
It's been some time, about a decade, since the last installment of the Vampire Chronicles.
Right.
Why now? Why'd you want to revisit it now?
Well, I missed Lestat. I missed my hero, and a lot of new ideas were coming to me, and a lot of new questions, a lot of new possibilities. When I wrote the last book, Blood Canticle, 2002, I really thought that I was finished. I'd written quite a few books with my vampires, and I thought I was moving away. But as I said, I began to miss Lestat a lot, and I got a second wind. I got a second inspiration.
Prince Lestat came out in 2014, I think, and I was so excited for that story. I had to buy it like the moment it came out, and I just soaked it up, and then I had to go back and listen to the audiobook, and I love listening to Anne Rice audiobooks. I could disappear for a couple years just to listen to all of the audiobooks, because some of those readers are so talented, and Anne Rice is such a talented writer, and she's so visually oriented, she's so detail oriented, and I'm a Virgo. I love detail. I love, I want the breakdown. I want to know the in, the out, the sideways and around of, the story and what's going on. And the beautiful thing of Anne Rice's books is that it really feels like a film in your mind, especially if you can listen to a very talented reader, reading that book straight through. I get excited just thinking about listening to some of those talented, audiobook readers. Anne Rice's words just being brought to life by somebody who's a talented audiobook reader is... oh my gosh, there's nothing like it. I really can't explain it. And I've listened to a few audiobooks of other authors, and I just enjoy, that whole concept of taking a book word for word and being able to visualize that story. I wish that film and TV wasn't so focused on veering away from, we got to make it this, this amount of time, 30 minutes for a TV show, or, an hour and 30 minutes for a movie, or 2 hours, whatever. It's just super, super sad. Deep down, it's sad that all of the story is really lost in, the production of a film or the production of a TV show. And Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles and Mayfair Witches, they really haven't got the attention that they deserve. They are beautiful stories, and she created such, an intricate universe that involves, hundreds of different characters, and you just fall in love with these characters as if, they're right there, they're real, they exist, and you just give a shit, when you're listening. And she's just so talented explaining that universe. So I really wanted to express how excited I am for the brand new Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis, just a little bit of a synopsis of the story. I just woke up, can you tell? The story, Anne Rice did release a bit of a snippet chapter where Lestat is dreaming, and he can see this underwater city. He could see that the city is burning up and basically sinking in the ocean, if I remember what I read. The city, he can see it in his mind, basically Atlantis, being burnt and sinking in the ocean. And if you know anything about the Vampire Chronicles, then you've heard of Amel, which Amel, if you don't know, Queen of the Damned, Aaliyah's character from the movie Queen of the Damned, Queen Akasha, the way that the vampires were created was the Queen Akasha was actually going to be murdered by her people. She was a queen in Egypt, and they stabbed her, and this demon went into her wounds and actually made her the vampire, the queen of the vampires. And so basically that demon is basically like the core of the vampires. That is the living force of the vampires. That's the heart of the vampires, the breath of the vampires. And the whole story in the previous book is, of course, how that core had went from Akasha to Mekare, which is Maharet's sister, and then thus into I can't remember if it went into Maharet, but it definitely goes into Lestat in the most recent book. And so in this story, Lestat is communicating with this demon. He can speak with it. It is a separate entity inside of himself. So it is the core of the vampires. If anything happens to the vampire who is carrying that core, then all of the vampires will feel it. And that's been kind of a running theme in a lot of the Vampire Chronicles, how whatever happens to the core is going to happen to all of the vampires. And so with Lestat dreaming about Atlantis, just that little snippet chapter, it really makes you wonder if the other vampires are witnessing that. And then the demon, he kind of questions the demon, Amel, about, what is this? What am I seeing? This city, I'm seeing the city burning. And, it feels like Atlantis. What is it? And, the demon is kind of shirking around what it is, but hopefully that book is going to really explore in depth. I have to say I was a little skeptical when I initially saw the title. I was just like, Atlantis, like, oh my God, where's she going with this? She's written about Jesus, she's written about werewolves, she's written about, sexual books that are very just dominatrix and gorgeous. And then she has the Vampire Chronicles, and she's focused on the seraphim, angels, and demons. And I was really just kind of blown away, like, wow, now she's doing Atlantis, like, oh, that's cliche. But then again, like, the more I think about it and the more that I realize how talented Anne Rice is and how she can take, the most minuscule thing and make it elaborate and gorgeous and beautiful and just really make you be able to visualize whatever she wants you to feel and what she wants you to see. I mean, I was skeptical reading her book, Christ the Lord out of Egypt, but I have to say it's just like this gorgeous, amazing story. And it, of course, just got a new film. I think it was called, The Messiah. It's a new film that Anne Rice has, it's based off her book, and it's just been released. So if you didn't know that, go check it out. So I just really wanted to express how excited I am. I'm not seeing any videos online. I'm not seeing anybody talking about this, except for Instagram. People are posting, little things here and there and a few news articles. But for the most part, Anne Rice's fans are staying really silent about this. And I think that it is because of the fact that the title is Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis. And a lot of people are like, where's she going with this? But I'm so excited to see where she goes with this. So I just want to say I'm super excited for the brand new Chronicle, and I really hope that this isn't the last one. I hope that there's definitely more to come after this book, but I'm really looking forward to November because I can't wait for more Anne Rice. I can't wait for more Lestat and the rest of the vampires. I'm really excited. So I've just spent the morning watching YouTube, listening to Anne Rice. And if you didn't know, today's August 6th. And yesterday was actually the anniversary of Anne Rice's daughter, Michelle Rice. Her death was the 5th of August, so that was yesterday. And I've just kind of, my morning has been kind of centered around Anne Rice, so I just wanted to take a moment or 10 minutes, to sit back and talk about my excitement. So, are you excited? Definitely, please leave a comment, a like, if not, whatever. But definitely, thanks for watching. And what do you think about Anne Rice writing about Atlantis? It's interesting, no? So, thanks for watching.